David here with Figboot on Pens, back again with another fountain pen review and a giveaway. Today I have for you two of the recent releases from Narwhal, which are the latest additions to their reasonably priced Original Plus line. Those pens are the Lovina and the Matria. They are both limited editions of 500 units, which are moving fairly quick. I noticed they were already sold out on the Narwhal site, but they are currently still available from a number of retailers. Thanks go out to Narwhal for providing these two pens you will see today for review, one of which will be given away to one of you, so stay tuned to the end of the review to learn what you need to do in order to enter to win. The pen arrives in this cool box. I haven't seen this box of theirs before. I think they're still working through some of their inventory of boxes and things like that with their older name. Here on the side is the original spelling. But I like this planetary action up here at the top and then the sea bubbling down below. This drawer slides open, and inside we have a use and care guide. And then we have something useful, which is this pouch. I'm assuming this is a faux leather, but it's nice. It kind of reminds me of the pouches some Pelican pens come in. And then inside we have two pens. Now, it only comes one pen per package, but I have both of them in here. This is the limited edition Narwhal Original Plus. There are two pens in this release. There is the black model named Lovina and the white one named Matria. Both are the names of famous beaches. Lovina is in Bali, Indonesia, and Matria is on the island of Bora Bora in French Polynesia. Now, in hindsight, it might have been nice to come up with, for the name of the black model, to name it after a black sand beach, but that's a pretty minor point. I have the black model inked up for the writing sample, so for this portion of the review, let's take a look at the Matria, the white version here, so you can get a better look at the inner workings of this pen. This pen is made from an acrylic resin. As you can see, the cap and piston knob, as well as the section, are opaque, and the barrel is transparent. The trim on both of these pens is a nice rose gold color. That color really matches well with both the black and the white models. Let's take a look at the top of the cap. It's inlaid with a metal circle. Here's what the black and white models look like next to one another, where you can get a good look at my camera lens and the reflective surface. This transitions into the clip. This is the standard Narwhal clip they've used for quite some time on a number of their models. I've said this many times in previous reviews of Narwhal pens, but I'm thinking they're missing out here. I think that if they could design a clip based on a twisting tusk of a narwhal, that would be a real distinctive way to set themselves apart with a unique feature to their pens. The cap angles up and then straightens out for the last 3/4 of an inch or so, and at the end of the cap there is a band stamped with the company's previous iteration of their name. If you don't recall, they have rebranded to a different spelling of their name, but it's pronounced the same. They're going through a transitionary period. Eventually, I would imagine that all of the branding would be converted over to the new spelling. The cap band is slightly tapered, so it minimizes the step down to the barrel. The barrel is translucent. You can see the inner workings of the piston mechanism, which I really like. The barrel appears to be straight, but it does taper down just a hair, about 1/2 millimeter from beginning to end. And then at the very end, we have a piston knob. I do like that not only the exterior trim has that rose gold color, but the interior metal parts have it as well. It makes for a more cohesive look. And then the end of the piston knob is rounded. The cap twists off in just under 2 rotations, and underneath we have a number 6 size stainless steel rose gold colored nib, which Narwhal makes in-house. This nib is available in fine, medium, broad, as well as a 1.1 stub. I am fond of the nib stamping for Narwhal. I think it looks really sharp with the diving narwhal and the water below. For these nibs, the size stamping is on the left-hand side. It can be frustrating when a nib doesn't have the size on it. There's been times when a company sends me a pen without letting me know the nib size, and I'm left to guess. Is this a really narrow medium or a thicker fine? And here's a look at the plastic feed. The resin section begins with a flare and angles up a bit before reaching the threads and a step up to the remainder of the barrel. This section is a nice length that'll accommodate a variety of grip styles very comfortably. It feels nice in the hand, and I like the look at your ink situation the large translucent portion of the barrel provides. The pen is plenty long enough to use unposted. The cap does post, and it does post securely. However, I do find that it doesn't post that deeply and extends the overall length an inordinate amount, so I prefer to use this pen unposted. As I previously mentioned, this is a vacuum filler. You pull the piston back, you insert it into the bottled ink of your choosing, and then you depress the piston. You'll hear and feel this click, which then indicates the vacuum seal has been broken, and then ink will get sucked up into the barrel. It's one of my favorite filling systems. Now, this is a dual reservoir piston filler, similar to that used on the Pilot Custom 823, where when the piston knob is twisted all the way down, the main chamber is sealed off from the section. So when you're writing with the pen in the sealed position, only the ink housed in the section is being used. When the ink runs dry in the section, you can simply crack the piston to let in more ink into the section, or if you're in a longer writing session, you might want to crack the end just to maintain a more even ink flow as you write. I'll show you a close-up of how this mechanism works during the writing sample. The Narwhal Original Plus, Lovina, and Matria are available from a number of retailers and sell for what I feel is a very reasonable price of $55. These are solid pens in that price range. As an entry-level pen, or if you'd like to expand your lower-cost offerings, this pen would certainly be a wise one to consider. Okay, in regard to the giveaway, I will be giving away the black model here, the Lovina. If you would care to enter, you need to be a subscriber to this channel. So if you are not already, please hit that subscribe button. There is a link in the notes below to a Google form where you will enter your name, email address, and answer an optional question. Since these pens are named after beaches, why don't you let me know your favorite beach you've ever been to, or one you'd like to visit. I'd say that my favorite beach is Torrey Pines State Beach in San Diego. If you get there at the right time of day, you can park literally just a few feet from the beach. And due to how the parking is laid out, the beach itself typically isn't very crowded. It's more of a locals beach, so there's a lot of surfers and not many tourists. We used to get up early on a Sunday morning and grab the Sunday paper back when reading the Sunday paper used to be more of a thing, and hang out at the beach for most of the morning. It was beautiful as well as relaxing. I still like getting back there whenever I visit the area. Okay, in regard to the contest, 72 hours after posting the video, I will randomly select a winner. I will contact you directly via the email address you provide. And as always, please be aware of scammers who will try to trick you on YouTube into thinking you've won by replying to a comment you leave here. Okay, now it is time for some measurements, size comparisons, and a writing sample. So here we have some size comparisons for the Narwhal Original Plus. This is the Matria in the black as well as the Lovina in the white. In regard to a couple of other Narwhal models, this is what it looks like with the Narwhal Original, not the Original Plus, but the original. This is an Original Plus that I reviewed recently. You can tell it has some nice blue texture, kind of a nice wispy resin to that. And then finally, here it is with a Nautilus. In regard to some non-Narwhal pens, here it is with a Lamy All-Star and a TWSBI Diamond 580 and a Pilot Metropolitan. In regard to some uncapped comparisons, this is what it looks like with the All-Star and the TWSBI Diamond 580. And then here it is with the Nautilus. So here we go with the writing sample for the Narwhal, which is Nahvalur, which is the new Narwhal is the original spelling of the name. And this pen is the original plus. And this is a medium stainless steel nib. And the ink I'm using today is one of my favorite greens, which is Diamine Apple Glory. This is what the ink looks like. It's a really nice, vibrant green. Here it is in comparison to Mont Blanc Irish Green, which is a bit of a deeper green. And then here's another vibrant green, which is Seyss-Kreuznach Lime Green. Unfortunately, I've heard that Seyss-Kreuznach is no longer in business, and so that's sad because I've enjoyed their inks. And this is what the Diamine 80 milliliter bottles look like. I've had this one for a while. I'm not sure if you buy one now if it has the different label on it. And here we go with the rest of the writing sample. With these Narwhal in-house nibs, I've had good experiences with them. It is, I wouldn't say it's buttery smooth. You're not going to get a lot of line variation out of this stainless steel nib. It just has a hair of feedback to it, but it is on the smoother side of the feedback. The ink flow is decent on this medium nib. In regard to reverse writing, it's slightly sharp, but gets the job done. And then in regard to some fast writing, the feed keeps up just fine. So there you have the Narwhal Original Plus. There is the Lovina right here, as well as the Matria. Don't forget to leave your name and your email address through the Google Forms in the notes below in order for your chance to win this Matria model. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.